Well, welcome everyone to my PhD session and relaunch of the World Peace Hologram series of sessions. I plan to do more of these in 2026, and I thought I'd just launch it with this PhD program this year. Um, yeah, and sorry about the glitch that we had at live streaming at YouTube. I don't know what happened there, but thank you for hanging in. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the headlines, in terms of peace in the world, this program's for you, or today's session's topics is for you. And it's an opportunity to transform that surge of emotion into a wave of peace. And we're going to do that together. Um, we live in an age of breathtaking innovation, and yet suffering and conflict still persist. When the world feels chaotic, we can choose coherence. We can become instruments of resonance, amplifying love and clarity where fear has pooled, including for ourselves. When collective turbulence feels like a tsunami, um, our personal energy field can either spiral down or stabilize. So the question becomes, how do we anchor peace so that it ripples outward? In today's session, we'll work holographically. We'll each choose, as we have with the submissions form, a world peace issue, something that speaks to our hearts, and then clear the personal pattern that mirrors it. We'll set coherent intentions and use simple energy modalities to raise our frequency so that inner peace becomes an actionable influence on the human energy grid. We're all resonators, and we have this tremendous power of creating energy that doesn't exist before. So, welcome to this World Peace Hologram series. I'm Carolyn Winter. And beyond politics or sides, as Rumi reminds us, there's a field of energy where love melts negativity. And I invite you to meet me there. Bring the world concern that's tugging at your heart, and together we'll craft intentions for its many facets, clear, non coherent patterns, and invite a stable resonance of peace. Your presence actually matters. Whether you're here live or adding your intention by signing up later, your energy strengthens the global wave of coherence and helps it last longer. Are you ready to amplify peace in yourself and in the world? Well, then let's begin. Just a reminder, if you're here late, you might mute your camera and your sound so for privacy, because we're recording this and it'll be available publicly later. Thank you. And yeah, so for those of you new to this work, we are using frequencies of energy and a tool I call a toggle check. It's like muscle checking. Our mission is one of inquiry, discovering which non-coherent patterns we ourselves unconsciously resonate with and which coherent ones need strengthening. Why? Well, because what we resonate with is what we tend to experience. Our goal is to reclaim our energy and align with what we truly desire for world peace and for our own lives. I'm Carolyn Winter, a life repatterning coach, and in this session, we'll explore a method of self inquiry that blends the law of resonance, the principles of biofeedback, and an evolving awareness that helps us create an integrated self and a positive life story. So let's get started. Just take a deep breath and come into your heart center. Great. Okay, so as we go through the session, it's our regular session of going through issues and intentions. And when you receive the session notes later, if you need more explanation of the various sections, there's lots of information, more information in the session notes. All right, then. So our first section is Section A. And by the way, thank you to everyone who managed to find the registration form and fill out the questionnaire. I received all of them up until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. If there were more coming later, well, I'm sorry they weren't included, but energetically they are included, including those of you who make submissions after the session, because as you know, time is nonlinear. So I say that this session is created a hologram for our intention of the work we're doing here. And this hologram is subjected to the law of physics that says time is nonlinear. And it's already anticipating your future submission in this live session right now. So there you go, you're included. And so we begin. Let's just begin here with the first section of the repatterning called present moment awareness. So just like a GPS needs your current location to begin navigation, in this life repatterning process, present moment awareness helps you pinpoint exactly where you are on your journey. And while you can begin the life repatterning process at any point, this component offers three essential coordinates: your point of choice, for us it's world peace; your current challenge, what we see as a global and personal issue; and your desired destination, what we want as an outcome. So we'll start with our life vision intention, and everyone submitted their lovely intentions. I cleaned them up a little bit for the purpose of the notes, so they're all present tense in the I statement. And because we're starting late and we have quite a bit of information to go through, I'll only go with the proxy statement that summarizes all of the submissions. You can read the details later in the session notes. So our proxy statement for a life vision intention is that I, or I'm going to check, we need I or we? We need I. I'm going to say we, the group here. So let me put that in. We calmly align with divine love and inner wisdom, living healthy and conscious, creating beauty and coherence, serving the greatest good through meaningful work, loving relationships, prospering in a peaceful home, and acting with clear, compassionate purpose for the benefit of all. We're off for that life vision intention. Okay, moving on. The next part of our repatterning is to look at the global peace issues. And you were asked to select a category, and we had three main categories. One was pollution, the other was political crisis, and the third was local community issues. I understand from some of you the form wasn't actually working the way I thought it was supposed to work, and I apologize for that. I have to fix that up later. I have to fix up the form and figure out YouTube Live, I guess. There, I'm going to throw those issues into this session. Well, the global issues, anyways, we're going to have one statement that summarizes all of those, although I do want to come back to one. Yeah, I'm going to start here. Under global issues of pollution, we had planetary toxicity and degradation at every level, dangerous pollution levels in New Delhi, effects of plastic pollution in the world, plastics in the oceans and waterways, and somebody put in the issue of a shooter at Brown's University in Rhode Island, is a very specific thing. And on the political level, it was the politicians are acting selfishly for personal gain and manipulating the narrative to cause confusion and disparity and chaos and divisiveness in politics that prevents cooperation to achieve what's best for all. But this one is another interesting one, and it's quite long, but I think I'm going to check. We need to read the whole thing. I am going to read the whole thing. It's this person added, I feel attacked when people attack my president. I always feel like I need to defend him or attack the other side. I feel guilty that I like my president. I also don't feel safe letting others know who are not on his side that I've chosen him and I like the work that he does. I get angry that all the Democrats who are allowed to speak freely about their politics and I have to hide mine. I should not involve myself in politics because it's dark and always fighting. I wish I did not care what the Democrats thought or project onto the world. I'm only happy in politics when my side is winning. I wish I could be neutral and less affected by even stop being in the know of what's happening in the political arena. We don't know the truth of anything, and that is a dark place to be. And that kind of sums up for me where a lot of our world peace issues are. It's very heartfelt, and it definitely speaks to some of the patterns that we're going to review later on in the session today. So I want you to just take a deep breath. And there was one local issue about homelessness in Phoenix specifically, and littering and not treating the earth as its mother. So just take a deep breath and breathe that all through. And our proxy statement for all of these submissions is this: escalating planetary toxicity and plastic pollution from hazardous air in Delhi NCR to degraded oceans, converge with rising autocracy and human rights erosion, manipulative and divisive politics fueling violence, and local breakdowns like homelessness and littered streets, signaling a global systems failure that threatens dignity, safety, and ecological integrity for all. We're on for all of these submitted issues, and it is a mess out there. Take a breath, breathe it on through. And so that leads us to our personal inner peace issues. And a number of them there's a lot of health issues, money issues, and again, the political situation as well. And wavering in and out of a state of inner security and trust and needing to go back to an old way of being to feel safe and secure, and projecting danger upon the unknown. So, proxying all of the submitted personal issues, the statement is, I am facing ongoing health fatigue and pain, financial uncertainty about transitioning from my business, too little space for creativity, political shame and reactivity, and wavering inner security as I navigate the unknown. And we're on for all of our personal issues that were submitted, and this statement summarizes it for all of us. Okay, take a breath, breathe that on through. Now we'll go on to more positive aspects, and we're looking at the new possibility intentions for what we want for world peace. And again, I have a proxy statement that summarizes everyone's submission. We align our inner calm and collective coherence with compassionate wisdom, honoring the dignity of all beings and earth. And we act, speak, and build systems so that peace, justice, and shared prosperity can flourish everywhere. And we're off for that. Okay, take a breath. And then our new possibility for our own personal intentions. What do we want? Instead of this disturbed inner peace, and uh, well, and again, if you forgot to put an intention in, you of course can write it down for yourself right now and consider it included in the notes. Here's our proxy statement for all of our personal intentions. I heal swiftly and fully, prioritize creative flow, feel safe and neutral around politics, make clear care and financial choices to recover and transition into service, and stay rooted in a coherent and peaceful heart. And we're off for that. Okay, so take that. Now, our next section of the repatterning from the life repatterning system is to do so check for a mindfulness pattern needed. We need more than one. We need all five previously identified. I identified based on submissions what we might need earlier. this morning, and it still holds. So we'll need all five of these, all five. So a check for patterns of mindfulness gives us the opportunity to resonate with the pattern needed in relation to our present moment situation. And that will help us to make an integral shift in conscious awareness. Resonating with these statements also helps us to cultivate a growth mindset essential to creating positive change. So here's our statements. Let's see what we're on and off for. Oh my goodness, what's happening here? Just a second. This is a glitchy day. I cannot click on what I want to click on. How do you like that? All right, we'll try it again. All right, here we are. The first one is we attune. Oh, I know what to do. We attune to the global field with acceptance and caring intent, letting our settled breath contribute coherence to the world peace hologram now. That's off. With each inhalation, we include our own sensations, and with each exhalation, we include all beings, harmonizing inner and outer peace in this moment. Breathe that in. We're off. Number 3, we notice defensive activation about world events and gently choose a growth minded, love first response that steadies the collective. We're off. And 4, we hold multiple perspectives ours, others, and the systems that we live in while resting in presence. Then act on the smallest, kindest action available. We're off. And lastly, we remember that shifting one node shifts the web. We embody calm, clarity, so the hologram reflects greater safety, dignity, and care for all. And we're off for that as well. All right, so let me just say that that's off. All right, then. Now we'll go on to what I call deeper inquiries. These are other patterns, and I have some that are specific to conscious awareness for world peace. And this is based on my course, Evolutionary Resonance, that's based on the work of Ken Wilber in integral theory, the idea that we are all at some level of the spiral of conscious awareness. Of course, if you're at the top of the spiral, you're at the Dalai Lama level where you're at one with the universe and can kind of disappear and come back on will. um, Most of us mortals are at the lower level of the spiral, and clearing our karma is what helps us move up the spiral, become more conscious and aware. As we move up the spiral, well, I should just read my pre-recorded introduction here. As we grow spiritually, our life perception, values, and beliefs also evolve, sometimes incrementally and sometimes with a quantum leap in understanding ourselves and our world. The patterns that we're going to explore now tap into our evolving patterns where we have learned the lesson and may be ready to move on to a deeper way of thinking. So let's go. And I should mention that each level, this is work that's been studied by many different researchers. They all tend to color code each of the levels. And Ken Wilber used a coloring system that somewhat matches the chakra system. So I like his work for that reason and many others. So the first level is called archaic, and we need a statement. We need statements from the archaic level. We don't. That's typically an infantile level, and most people evolve past that fairly quickly in life. Then the next level is called the magic level, or color-coded magenta. We need statements from here. We do. And we need coherent. Yes, one, two. And the first one is my imagination is a bridge between inner experience and outer change. And we're off for that statement. And we need three, four, five, six. I bring a sense of kindness and everyday blessing to local spaces, adding beauty and care to support neighborhood harmony. And we're off for that. And we need seven. We don't. We need the non-coherent magenta level patterns. We don't. All right. We need the mythic level, often known as the red level. It's kind of the power-driven level. Most people don't spend very much time here, although some people can stay stuck here for a lifetime. Um, and we need to say anything else about the red level? No, but it's really about coming into a stage of empowerment, feeling and knowing your own power and being able to use it wisely. So the coherent statement is one, two, I am part of a larger story, and my choices express courage and compassion. And that is off. And we need anything else from this mythic red level? No. The non-coherent aspect? No. Then we need, did we skip? Oh, there you go. Mythic. Then the next, we skipped a level, and that's the amber level. We need something from amber. That's why we don't need the amber level. It's normally known as the group level or family level. We're going on to the rational or orange level. This is like the backbone of America. Builds it's the level of thinking that builds corporate America, gives us competition and success and achievement and vision. It's responsible for the abolition, for example, of slavery historically. So at this level, we need something to do with politics. No. Environment, natural disasters, health. Well, we need the coherent statements. Yes, one, two. It's environment. I commit to scientifically validated strategies for sustainability, such as renewable energy innovation and data-driven conservation to ensure planetary health for future generations. And we're off for that. Okay, and we need three, four, five. Prosperity. I envision merito- merit, merit, meritocratic economies driven by innovation and free markets that reward achievement while implementing data-informed safety nets to uplift all individuals. And we're off for that. So this is about making the money, but also caring for humanity at the same time, knowing that we're one and the same, we're all connected. We need the non-coherent aspect. We don't. Okay. Okay, we need the next level, which we're going on to the integral level of coherence for world peace. Yes, we needed the green level, we don't. So it's called turquoise. And yeah, we need the one statements from this section. We need the coherent one, two, three. Regarding natural disasters, I respond to natural disasters with compassionate, coordinated support that helps all affected communities recover and become more resilient. And we're off for that. And I think of all the homes lost because of hurricanes and fires in this past year. This kind of makes a lot of sense. Um, just a second. We need that. All right. And that is off. All right. We need anything else coherent from world-centric integral 1 through 5? No. The non-coherent aspect, yes. So this is the second tier of thinking. It's generally speaking the higher tier. Has more inclusiveness, but it has its blind spots as well. So the blind spots here, non-coherent pattern is one, world politics, because that's what we're on about. I only care about political outcomes that advantage my own group or nation, even if others are harmed or excluded. And we're on for that. And we need environment, natural disasters, no, health and well-being, prosperity. We need these additional statements for health, prosperity. We need something, we don't. We need something from the higher stages of integral for health. Yes, now this is really quite advanced, but we'll see what comes up for us as a group. We're advanced thinkers, I think. We need number one. In non dual awareness, my health is the health of the whole, effortlessly embodying vitality as pure evolutionary expression when we're off for that. So, as I am, so is the rest of the world, in other words, regarding health. Let's see, where am I going to put that? Hey, that's off. Now we need something else from health. Two, three, wellness manifests as I surrender to the flow of life force, integrating all levels of reality into luminous embodied presence. And that's off. Okay, and we need something then from this level for prosperity. We do. We need number one. Prosperity is the universe's inherent generosity. I participate as a conscious node in its boundless evolutionary unfolding. And we're off for that. So, this, I should explain that a little bit. I'm not going to explain it just yet. I guess not. I trust the muscle checking here. We need number two, number three. I affirm the dissolution of lack, allowing prosperity to radiate through all beings in harmonious, transpersonal fulfillment. And that is off. Also off. All right, then. So those are our deeper inquiry statements. Now that we've gone through it all, we need to go back and see if there are any other evolutionary statements needed. We don't. So we'll put that away and then come back to our repatterning. So we need some additional core patterns from the life repatterning system. We do. Okay, then. Let me whip that out. All right. Life repatterning. And then we need to size this up. And what we need is So something from the life repatterning system, from habits of success, no. Core elements of life repatterning, yes. Entrainment, sound, brain area, planetary frequencies. Okay, we'll go to planetary frequencies and see what we need. This speaks to how, for those that don't know this work very well, the solar system itself has its own vibration and frequency. Each planet has its own vibration and frequency. Um, Solar flares, everybody knows how solar flares cause things to go kafooey on Earth, or people take advantage of the energy somehow. So that's why we're checking on patterns associated with the different frequencies of these planets. Starting with the sun, no. Moon, Mercury, no. We need Venus, Mars. Yes, the planet Mars, which stands for, it's a planet of action, drive, assertion, and physical energy. And the statement then is coherent. One, two. I take decisive action towards my goals. And we're off for that. We need three, four, five. I use my power to protect and serve. And we're off for that. And we need non-coherent. No. We need Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, wisdom, and opportunity. Yes. Non-coherent, coherent. One, two. I see opportunities in every situation. And we're off for that. All right. We need anything else from Jupiter? No. Okay. We need Saturn. No. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Pluto, the planet of transformation, power, and deep psychological change. Um, yeah, that really help us. We need the coherent pattern is A, B. I embrace deep personal evolution, and that's off. And we need C, D, E, and we need the non-coherent. Yes, A, B, C. We need A, B, C. I destroy without transformation. And we're on for that statement. Okay, and then we need, and that's the end of our planetary frequencies. We need to look at life needs. No. Anything else from core elements? No. From another set of repatternings? Yes. Sacred cycles, evolutionary resonance, spiritual flow? Yes. Play awakening, sacred geometry, tracking the future, non karma, ancestral echoes. Yeah, ancestral echoes. This is from the family constellation work. And I have a repatterning I wrote for that. Uh, and we need the whole repatterning. We don't. We're just cherry picking at this point. We're just picking out a few statements that belong in our session. So we'll go to the deeper inquiry section here. Although we need a mindfulness statement, a societal belief, no. One of the 10 qualities, yes. Something from belonging, no. Place, no. Balance, no. Identification, parents, power and control issues. So in family constellation work, power struggles in family systems reflect disruptions in the natural orders of love and hierarchy, often manifesting as unconscious attempts to control or dominate. And this then blocks the healthy flow of family energy and belonging. And you can see how that translates onto a world stage as well. So we need the coherent statements A, B. I release domination and choose mutual respect. And we are off for that. Let me just get this in here. And we need another coherent statement. 3, 4. I trust the system's hierarchy to settle conflict. And we're off for that. Family systems, they're really big on everybody's in the right order and you respect the elders and every generation has its role to play. So this says, and when that happens, then the energy flows freely and it energizes everybody in the system. So I trust the system's hierarchy to settle conflict, meaning that, everybody's got their part in settling the conflict. Um, we need anything else from power and control, coherent statements. Non-coherent, yes, it's A, B, C, D. I compete for power with elders or partners. We're on for that. I compete with power with elders or partners. That's on. That was on. Okay. All right. Now we need denial versus acknowledgement. No. Communication. No. Limits. No. Dynamics. Relationship dynamics. Okay. Relationship patterns and family constellations reveal unconscious loyalty and entanglements that perpetuate imbalance until the system's natural orders are restored through recognition and reconciliation. So that's the description. And what we need is the pattern coherent, non coherent. A, B. I seek control rather than intimacy. We're on for that. And we need C, D, E. I confuse loyalty. I confuse loyalty with togetherness. Yes, we're on for that. And we need the last one, no. Okay, we need the transcend and include statements back to our levels of conscious awareness. No. All right. Need There's such good statements. We need one of these. We don't. We have to trust the muscle checking. Some great statements there, but we need none of them. All right. So that's our ancestral echoes piece. We need something else from any other one of these repatternings. No, my other set of repatternings. No. It's time to move on then to modalities. I'm toggling yes for that. And so we're using Chloe's book, Index of things to do to enhance our field of energy, create some more harmonious vibrations. We need page 1, page 2, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4 from the index, 1 through 5, 1, 2. The first thing we'll do is called the thymus tap. And you could just do that along with me. Just lightly take your right hand, just lightly tap your chest. This energizes all of the inner organs. And breathe. Some people like to do a nice little rhythm. Whatever speaks to you, just do that. You'll feel a nice light release as you tap. And breathe as you do so. This is complete. You can bring that to a close. And then we need to follow this with a breath. We need the double inhale breath. Yes, I learned this one the other day and found it to be very useful. It helps to calm down anxiety quickly in the moment, or bring you out of a stuck place. So if we're stuck in our patterns, try this. We're going to do a double inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. Relax and then do that again. We'll do that 5 times, 4 times. Do that 3 times. Here we go. Double inhale. Second time. Once more. And relax. And just close your eyes and check in with your body and notice things settling. I'm feeling a relaxation in my chest and in my shoulders. This is complete. It is. Yeah, you can bring that to a close. Go back to normal breathing. And we need another modality. We do from page 1, page 2, back to there. And we need color. We need a movement of some kind. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's nodding your head yes. So it's very simple movement, stretching back. Like I'll combine this with a bit of a visualization. And so you just stretch as far back as you can without overstretching. And then slowly nod your head forward, chin to your chest. Again, not overstretching. Nodding yes to your global peace intentions. In your mind's eye, nod yes to peace, for mutual respect among all human beings, for prosperity and good health, for an end to war, and coping well with any of Mother Nature's natural disasters. Knowing that we're all connected energetically, that we ourselves envision those who need our help, the homeless, those in trouble, maybe even those who are acting badly. Send them your light and your love and bring coherence to whatever is the underlying factor. And say yes to personal peace. Whatever it is that you intended for yourself, say yes to that. All life affirming intentions, say yes to that for yourself. And this is complete. Yeah, you can bring that to a close. Take a deep integrating breath and then allow yourself to come back to the room. Very good. Right? And then we need another modality. We don't. So those two modalities seems to have shifted our frequencies. So that's a good thing. We'll go back now and we'll recheck everything to see what we've shifted here. And let me just get my notes ready. All right, so for our life vision intention, we calmly align with divine love and inner wisdom, living healthy and consciously, creating beauty and coherence, serving the greatest good through meaningful work and loving relationships, prospering in a peaceful home, and acting with clear, compassionate purpose for the benefit of all. And we're on for that. Okay, take a breath. Now, our global peace issues. These are the issues. So, escalating planetary toxicity and plastic pollution from hazardous health air in Delhi NCR to degraded oceans converging with rising autocracy and human rights erosion, manipulative and divisive politics, fueling violence, and local breakdowns like homelessness and littered streets, signaling a global systems failure that threatens dignity, safety, and ecological integrity for all. And we're cleared for that. We're off. Of course, remember what we resonate with is what we tend to experience. So that's a very good thing. We're not resonating with that. Our personal issues, proxying all of them, I am facing ongoing health fatigue and pain, financial uncertainty about transitioning from my business, too little space for creativity, political shame and reactivity, and wavering inner security as I navigate the unknown. And we're off for all those personal issues as well. Taking a breath, looking at our next set of statements for new possibilities for world peace. And our proxy statement is, we align our inner calm and collective coherence with compassionate wisdom, honoring the dignity of all beings and earth. And we act, speak, and build systems so that peace, justice, and shared prosperity can flourish everywhere. And we are now on for that. Excellent. And our personal issues, I heal swiftly and fully, prioritizing creative flow. I feel safe and neutral around politics and make clear care and financial choices to recover and transition into service, staying rooted in a coherent, peaceful heart. And we're on for that. And now our mindfulness statements. We attune to the global field with acceptance and caring intent, letting our settled breath contribute coherence to our world peace hologram now. On, with each inhalation, we include our own sensations, and with each exhalation, we include all beings, harmonizing inner and outer peace in this moment. On, we notice defensive activation about world events and gently choose a growth-minded, love-first response that steadies the collective. We're on for that. We hold mutual perspectives, ours, others, and the systems we live in, while resting in presence, then act on the smallest, kindest action available. And we're on for that. And lastly, we remember that shifting one node shifts the web. We embody calm clarity so that the hologram reflects greater safety, dignity, and care for all. And that is also on. Now, our deeper inquiries, going through the levels of awareness. We need to read that? No. So the earlier stage of magenta, my imagination is a bridge between inner experience and outer change. That is on. I bring a sense of kindness and everyday blessing to local spaces, adding beauty and care to support neighborhood harmony. That is also on. Uh, the red empowering stage, I am part of a larger story, and my choices can express courage and my choices express courage and compassion. That is also on. Then the orange level of the achievement stage. I commit to scientifically validated strategies for sustainability, such as renewable energy innovation and data-driven conservation to ensure planetary health for future generations. That is on. I envision meritocratic economies. I envision meritocratic economies driven by innovation and free markets that reward achievement while implementing data-informed safety nets to uplift all individuals. We are on for that. And at the turquoise level stage of wholeness, we have a few statements. I respond to natural disasters with compassion, coordinated support that helps all affected communities recover and become more resilient. That's on. And the next one is I only care about political outcomes that advantage my own group or nation, even if others are harmed or excluded. That is off. It's non-coherent. At a much higher level yet, in terms of the spiral of conscious awareness, our next statement is in non-dual awareness, my health is the health of the whole, effortlessly embodying vitality as pure evolutionary expression. And that is on. And I should just explain that term in non-dual awareness. You know, this mortal life that we live is a conglomeration of polar opposites: good, bad, light, dark, um, I don't know, lawful, unlawful. I mean, it's either or. It's an either or society. But in non-dual awareness, we are all. We encompass the whole, and it's all contained within us. So to say in non-dual awareness, my health is the health of the whole. As I get healthy, the whole planet is healthy, effortlessly embodying vitality as pure evolutionary expression. Powerful statement. Breathe that in. Our next one, wellness manifests as I surrender to the flow of life force, integrating all levels of reality into a luminous embodied presence. We are on for that. This statement will help us see more, be more, have more understanding, more compassion, and far more perspectives will open up to our awareness. Now, two more. Prosperity is the universe's inherited generosity. I participate as a conscious node in its boundless evolutionary unfolding. And that is on. And I affirm the dissolution of lack, of allowing prosperity to radiate through all beings in harmonious, transpersonal fulfillment. And that's on. So we all get to be prosperous, not somebody is prosperous at the expense of another. Um, and now, looking at our additional core elements from the life repatterning system, we needed something from planetary frequencies. Just a second. So, planetary frequencies, Mars, I take decisive action towards my goals. On for that. I use my power to protect and serve. On for that. Jupiter, I see opportunities in every situation. We are on for that. And Pluto, the planet of transformation, I embrace deep personal evolution. We are on for that. And I destroy without transformation. We're off for that. And power and control issues. This is our ancestral echoes, by the way. Let me write that in. So one of the patterns from ancestral echoes is power and control. And our statements are, I release domination and choose mutual respect. And we're on for that. I trust the system's hierarchy to settle conflict. That's on. And I compete for power with elders or partners. We're off for competing. All right. The next item is relationship dynamics. I seek control rather than intimacy. We're off for that. And I confuse loyalty with togetherness. And we're off for that. And those are all of our statements. We need, let's see, we need an integration option, something everybody can do after the session. We don't. We're good for no homework. So that brings us to the end of our repatterning. So we are repatterned, just to affirm that. So just take a breath, an integrating breath to bring that all together. Okay, and then let me just end with just a few questions for reflection. I mean, sometimes, you hear these sessions and it's just like a lot of babbling. But right now, what you can do is just check in. And let's see, where do I have it here? Huh. Just check in and notice any shifts in your physical well-being. What feels a little less heavy in your body, and where do you feel more light? What part of your body is still holding some stuck energy? Let me take a look at that. What one thing shifted for you in this session? Did you receive an insight or a perspective that you didn't have before? Okay, and that's complete. We need any other questions for reflections? Oh, we do. Um, so just think about where, oh yes. So one of the underlying patterns that came up, especially these later stages of evolutionary awareness, is that how do I explain? We are resonators. We are master resonators in the present moment. That means we pump out an energy, a frequency. And so as we remain coherent with these shifted patterns today, we're not only creating coherence within ourselves for peace, but we're broadcasting that same energy out there on I call it the grid of humanity, where all energies are one and the same. They're all interconnected. And you know how it is, that whole butterfly effect. You might feel that you're really helpless in terms of creating world peace, but you never know when it's your one little single vibration, your thought on health, the character of your community, the homelessness situation, just something that you've noticed in the news, and how you think of it in terms of healing and grace and sending it light and love. You are changing the planet incrementally. And sometimes that one thought creates a quantum leap. So with that, I leave you with that, and hope you'll join us again next year for we plan to do 6 more of these next year. So I hope you'll join me for that. Well, this is Carolyn Winter. Thank you for joining us for this World Peace Hologram, and may peace be in your heart.